I am Dr. Mamata Kiar, Assistant Professor, Government First Grade College, Tiptur. So now I discuss about the problem on flexible budget. This is the problem. Cost of an article at a capacity level of 7,500 units is given under A, or variation of 20% on capacity above or below this level. The individual expenses vary as indicated under B below. So here A and B. Under the A, materials 37,500, 100% varying. Labor cost 22,500, 100% varying. Power 1,875, 80% varying. Repair and maintenance 3,000, 75% varying. Stores 1,500, 100% varying. Inspection 750, 20% varying. Depreciation 15,000, 100% varying. Administration overhead 7,500, 25% varying. Selling overhead 4,500, 50% varying. Total cost 94,125. Find out the cost of the production level of 6,000 units and 9,000 units. So this is the problem. So in this problem, cost of an article at a capacity level of 7,500 is given under A. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಈ ಎ ಅಂಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ 7,500 ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಎ. ಆರ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ 20% ಆನ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಎಬೋವ್ ಆರ್ ಬಿಲೋ ದಿಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಸೊ 20%ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಥವಾ 20% ಅದು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಬಿ ಅಂಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. The individual expenses vary as indicated under B below. So the first one, that is the material 37,500. So this 100% are treated as varying. And then labor cost 22,500. Here also the 100% are varying. Next, power 1,875. So from this amount the 80% are varying and the remaining 20% are fixed. 80% varying ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇನ್ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ 20% ಏನಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್. ಇನ್ ದ ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆರ್ 3,000. From this 3,000 amount, the 75% are varying and the remaining 25% are treated as the fixed. In stores, so from the store amount 1,500, the 100% are varying. Here there is no any fixed. Then inspection. So for the inspection, the amount are 750 rupees. So from this 20% are varying and the remaining 80% are fixed. And the next, the depreciation. The amount for the depreciation are 15,000. This whole amount are varying, means the 100% varying. And then administration overhead the amount are 7,500. So in the 7,500 rupees, the 25% are varying and the remaining 75% are fixed. Selling overhead 4,500. Here the 50% are varying and the remaining 50% are fixed. So the total amount or the total cost of these all items are rupees 94,125. So find out the cost of the production level of 6,000 units and 9,000 units. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ 6,000 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಹಾಗೆ 9,000 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಬಡ್ಜೆಟ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಸ್, the 7,500 units. Next, the 6,000 units, 9,000 units. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು 7,500 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು 6,000 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ 9,000. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ 6,000 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ 9,000ಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟನ್ನು ಅಂದರೆ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸನ್ನು ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿಸ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ and the cost per unit for all units. So under the particulars, first we are entered materials. Materials, the amount of the materials for the 7,500 units are 37,500. So this whole amount are treated as varying. So the whole amount are entered under the amount column. So 37,500. So using this amount, we calculate the cost per unit. So this cost per unit is calculated as 37,500 divided by 7,500. So 37,500 rupees anna 7,500 units ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗಿಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ₹5. And next, here we find out the cost per unit. So for the varying, always the cost per unit are constant. So varying ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so for the 6,000 units, here the cost per unit are the 5. So 5 into 6,000. So now the amount ₹30,000. ಈ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇಂದ ನಾವು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ₹30,000 ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ 9,000 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್, ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ₹5. ಸೊ 5 into 9,000 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್, ನಾವು ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆರ್ 45,000. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ 45,000. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಲೇಬರ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್. ದ ಲೇಬರ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ 100% ವೇರಿಯಿಂಗ್. ಲೇಬರ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್, ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆರ್ 22,500. So now we calculate the cost per unit as 22,500 divided by 7,500. So now the cost per unit are ₹3. So the cost per unit are constant in all levels. For the 6,000 units, the cost per unit are ₹3. So 3 into 6,000 units. So now the amount are 18,000 rupees. And for the 9,000 unit, the cost per unit are ₹3. So 3 into 9,000 unit, now the amount are ₹27,000. So cost per unit anna ಈ ಒಂದು 9,000 ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇಂದ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅಮೌಂಟು ₹27,000 ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. And the next one, that is the power. So here the power amount, the power are so 1,875. So in this the 80% are varying and the 20% are fixed. So first we calculate the variable, that is the 80% variable. So 1875 into 80 divided by 100. So now that amount are rupees 1500. So here you calculate the cost per unit as the 1500 divided by 7500 units. So the cost per unit are 0.2. So the 0.2 are constant in all levels. So for the 6000 unit, the cost per unit are 0.2. It is multiplied with the 6000 units. That is 0.2 into 6000, 1200. And for the 9000 unit, the cost per unit are 0.2. So it is multiplied with the 9000 units. So now the amount of the power for variable, that is the 1800. And the next, the 80% are variable. The remaining 20% are treated as fixed. So 20% fixed. So 1875 into 20 divided by 100. So now the amount are 375. And the cost per unit are calculated as the 375 divided by 7500. The cost per unit are 0.05. In the 6000 and the 9000, the cost per unit are the same, that is the 0.05. So here the fixed. So fixed ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಮೌಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So the amount are constant, 375, 375 and 375. But the cost per unit are variable. So 375 divided by 7500, 0.05. 375 divided by 6000 units, that is the 0.06. For the 9000 units, 375 divided by 9000. So the cost per unit are 0.04. You observe here, in the variable the amount are changed, but the cost per unit are same. But under the fixed, the amount are same, but the cost per unit are changed. So this is the power. And the next one, the next expenses are repair and maintenance. So in this repair and maintenance, the amount are 3000. From this 3000, the 75% are varying and the remaining 25% are fixed. Okay. So first we calculate the variable repairs and maintenance. The 75% of variable, that is 3000 into 75 divided by 100. So now the amount are 2250 rupees. So now we calculate the cost per unit, 2250 divided by 7500. The cost per unit are 0.3. And the next, so for the 6000 unit, the variable, the cost per unit are the same, that is the 0.3. So this 0.3 into 6000 unit, the amount rupees 1800. And for the 9000 unit, here also the cost per unit are the 0.3. So this 0.3 are multiplied with the 9000 units. The amount are 2700 rupees. The 75% are variable. The remaining 25% are the fixed. So 3000 into 25 divided by 100. Then the amount are 750 rupees. So the 750 rupees is divided by the 7500. Then the cost per unit 0.1. So under the fixed, the amount are always same. Okay. ಸೊ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೇಮ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ. ಆದರೆ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 750 ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 7500 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ 0.1. Under the 6000 unit, 750 divided by 6000 unit 0.13. So under the 9000 unit, 750 rupees divided by 9000 units. So here the cost per unit are 0.08. So this is the fixed, the repairs and maintenance. And the next one, the expenses are stores. The stores amount are 1500. Here the 100% are variable. So stores, the 100% are variable only. The amount are 1500. So here we calculate the cost per unit, that is 1500 divided by 7500. So the cost per unit are 0.2. So now here the cost per unit are same in all levels, that is the 0.2. So this 0.2 are multiplied with the 6000 units. So now the amount are 1200. For the 9000 units, here also the cost per unit are 0.2. So the 0.2 are multiplied with the 9000 unit. So now the amount are 1800. And the next one, that is the inspection. The inspection amount are rupees 750. So in this amount, the 20% are variable and the remaining 80% are treated as the fixed. Okay. So the inspection 20% variable. So the 750 into 20 divided by 100, the amount are 150 rupees. So this 150 rupees are divided by the 7500. Then the cost per unit are 0.02. ಸೊ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟು 0.02ನೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಫಾರ್ ದ 6000 ಯೂನಿಟ್, ದ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆರ್ 0.02. It is multiplied with the 6000 units. So 0.02 into 6000. Now the amount are 120 rupees. And the next, for the 9000 units, the cost per unit are 0.02. So this 0.02 are multiplied with the 9000 unit. So 0.02 into 9000. Now the amount are 180 rupees. And the next one, that is the depreciation. Sorry, so 80% are fixed. Under the inspection, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಂದರೆ 20% ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನು ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ 80% ಆರ್ ದ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 750 into 80 divided by 100, then the amount are 600. ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಅಮೌಂಟು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೌಂಟು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಮೌಂಟು ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ದ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆರ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ 600 divided by 7500 units. So that amount are 0.08. So under the 6000 units, the amount are 6000 and the cost per unit will be 600 divided by 6000 unit. So that is the 0.1 rupee. For the 9000 unit, the amount are the same, 600 rupees. So the 600 rupees are divided by the 9000 units. So 600 divided by 9000 unit. So now the cost per unit are 0.067. And the next one, that is the depreciation. So that in the depreciation, the 15,000 rupees, this whole amount are varying, means the 100% varying. So it is continued in the same format. The depreciation, the amount are 15,000. So this 15,000 are the amount. Now the cost per unit are calculate as 15,000 divided by 7,500. So now the cost per unit are 2.0. For the 6,000 unit, so here the cost per unit are the constant, but the amount will be changed. The cost per unit are 2. So 2 into 6,000 units, the amount are 12,000 rupees. And for the 9,000 unit, the cost per unit are rupees 2. It is multiplied with the 9,000 units. So 9,000 into 2, the amount are 18,000 rupees. So this is the depreciation. And the next one, administration overhead. The administration overhead amount 7,500. So in the 7,500, the 25% are varying. The remaining 75% are fixed. So first we calculate for the variable, that is the 25% variable. So for the 7,500 into 25 divided by 100. So now the amount are rupees 1,875. So using this amount, we find out cost per unit. 1,875 divided by 7,500. So the cost per unit are 0.25. And the next, this 0.25 are the constant in all levels. For the 6,000 unit, the cost per unit 0.25 into 6,000. So now the amount are rupees 1,500. And for the 9,000 units, the cost per unit are 0.25, that is the same amount. So it is multiplied with the 9,000 units. So 0.25 into 9,000. So now the amount are 2,250 rupees. So variable is over. The remaining 75% are fixed. So administration overhead 25% variable ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನು remaining 75% ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ fixed ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So it means the 7,500 into 75 divided by 100. So now the amount are 5,625 rupees. So this 5,625 rupees is multiplied by the 7,500. Then the cost per unit are 0.75. So in the fixed, the amount are constant in all level, but the cost per unit are changed. So now the amount are 5,625. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಏನಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 5,625 divided by 6,000. So now the cost per unit 0.94. At the 9,000 units, the amount are 5,625 divided by 9,000 unit. The cost per unit are 0.625. So this is the administration overhead. And the next one, the selling overhead, the amount are 4,500. So in this 4,500, the 50% are variable and the remaining 50% are fixed. So selling overhead 50% variable, that is 4,500 into 50 divided by 100. Then the amount are 2,250 rupees. So it is divided by 7,500 units. So now the cost per unit are 0.3. So it is the variable cost per unit. It is the same in that 6,000 unit and the 9,000 unit. So under the 6,000 unit, the cost per unit are the 0.3. It is multiplied with the 6,000. So now the amount are 1,800. And for the 9,000 unit, so here the cost per unit are 0.3. So it is multiplied with the 9,000 unit. So 0.3 into 9,000, 2,700 rupees. So the 50% variable and the remaining 50% are fixed. So 50% fixed. It means the 4,500 into 50 divided by 100, the amount are 2,250, and the cost per unit, that is the 2,250 divided by 7,500. So now the cost per unit are 0.3. So in the fixed, the amount are same. So for the 6,000 unit, the amount are 2,250. The cost per unit, that is 2,250 divided by 6,000. So now the cost per unit are 0.375. Under the 9,000 unit, the amount are the same, 2,250 rupees. So it is divided by 9,000 unit. So now the cost per unit are 0.25. So this is the selling overhead. So now we take the total cost. The total cost for the 7,500, the amount rupees 94,125. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಓವರ್ ಹೆಡ್ವರೆಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 7,500 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ 94,125 rupees. The cost per unit 12.55. Under the 6,000 units, the amount are 77,220 rupees. The cost per unit 12.875. So for the 9,000 unit, the total amount are, that is the 1,11,030 rupees, and the cost per unit are 12.335. So this is the solution for this problem on flexible budget.